Here.
There's a quorum present.
Okay, as you wish, please stand for the pledge and the invocation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, thank you for all that you do for us. We thank you for taking in the people that we celebrated yesterday, their lives, their sacrifices, and Memorial Day. We know they're with you. We ask your blessing upon us. We ask blessing upon all of our work families and their spouses and some times of trouble and sickness, and if you would heal those. And also today, give us wisdom and discernment to make good decisions on this agenda. All these things we ask in your Son's name, Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Okay, consent agenda is on the board. It's been published. Motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
A second?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. And by the way, just a note, I'm not as cute as I was this time last week. I took a face plant, broke my nose. I'm not in any pain, not under any medication. I'm just here enjoying life. So the doctor said if I learned to walk, I got a lot of good years left in me. So anyway, so just don't relax. I'm okay.
What happens when we don't agree? Oh, sorry.
What?
So this is what happens when we don't all agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Bridget tackled me. That's what the deal was. The other story is I was mugged and that guy's in the morgue. So anyway, do we pass on this?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Okay. And the Blue Shield program resolution. Bridget, the sheriff, you want to talk about this? This
Well,
go ahead.
what this is Governor Keyhole passed Evan, you'll have to help me on what that's called, executive
Resolution.
order.
Executive order.
Yeah, I think it's executive order number 25, where it allows us, if we become a Blue Shield community, it opens up some grants to us, kind of moves us a little faster into getting the grants. It already establishes. It's pretty much what we do anyway.
Yeah.
It's just a resolution saying that the county and the sheriff's office will do this.
Okay. So we just passed this resolution, then
Submit the
comply
application.
with the requirements on it,
Yes.
and then we're open up for some grants.
Yes.
Okay. Motion to
Are there
accept.
anything that you've got to comply with that we have to approve or?
Resolution's really the only thing. We have to submit some other documentation. Captain Ryan's got that prepared and ready to go, so this was our final step. They will review it and see if we meet the criteria.
Okay, so there's nothing we have to approve for as funding for anything that would
No.
bring us to that level that?
A motion to,
I make a motion, we accept the resolution as written for the Blue Shield program.
second. Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Okay, request to bid maintenance department. Brian wants to put some new office flooring in this building, in this room, and in our offices in there. And also to repair or replace some doors out at the morgue. Motion to accept this request for bid.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request to bid maintenance department for flooring for county offices
And the doors.
and the doors, morgue doors.
And second?
I'll second that.
Questions?
Hey, I got a question. Brian, is that in here? What kind of floor is it?
Picked it out yet. We'll see.
Okay.
Well, you better check with the late bud, they know more than we do.
Rich?
How old are the floors here?
Original.
2006.
In this office?
2006 now.
We've been changing them out in most of the offices in the last couple of years. This one has not.
It's original.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of allowing this bid, please say aye.
Right.
Okay, approval agreement between St. Francis County and the Mineral Area Drug Task Force. Bridget, you want to talk about that, or anything you got to add?
I don't really have anything to say unless Jeff does.
I was going to defer you.
It's essentially just an agreement we have to have with the task
Yes.
forces. We are technically a pass-through for their grant.
Okay,
So it
is this a
stipulates-
renewal or something new or what?
No, it's their grant, but we're a subrecipient since we have 2 officers and they pay us back with that grant money. So since we are a subrecipient, it has to go on our CFR report. So we have to have this agreement.
Is this money used for their salary or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, motion to accept this approval?
And Jeff, you didn't have any problems with this? Everything was okay?
No, we, I think, am I correct, Bridget, that we had this before?
Yeah, we actually took care of the grant before. They actually have somebody else taking care of the grant. We're just.
And they want to come back to us?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the equitable
That's
sharing.
equitable.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
This
Yeah.
is the other,
Yeah.
this is, okay.
This is just for the two officers.
I'll make a motion that we approve agreement for the Edward Byron Memorial Justice Assistant Grant for the
Second.
Monroe Drug Task Force.
Second.
I'll second.
Questions? On approved, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, approval agreement between us and them, equitable sharing
This is
program.
that,
Yeah, this is for the
Now this-
equitable sharing.
Now, Bridget, am I right, at one time Farmington had it, the city?
No, the city had the JAG grant before.
Okay,
We
okay.
had this before.
And then it went to St. Jen.
They moved to St. Jen.
Yeah.
And now they want.
Now we're getting it back.
Correct.
Okay.
and you have no problem with this one?
So the question is why are they moving it from St. Genevieve to here?
That's a good question.
Who's they? Who's moving it?
Task force.
The
Task
task force.
Task force.
I'm not really sure, but I guess Sheriff, are you in agreement with bringing it back this
Well, I
way?
think, and I may have this wrong, but my understanding was with St. Genevieve, they've got some other kind of grants coming in or some other grants or something that this might conflict a little bit, so they wanted to move it back to a neutral location.
They
which would be
didn't
us.
give me a reason,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
So,
I think we've learned a lot off this grant, right, Bridget?
From before.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Okay, do I have a motion yet?
I make a motion that we give approval to agreement between St. Francis County and the Middle Area
Yeah,
Task
I left out the
Force,
word
thank
area
you.
there, but
Drug
okay.
Task Force, yeah, for the equitable sharing program.
I'll second.
Okay, questions? On favor, aye. Okay, now you said something about this on the bid on the,
Yes, we were looking at bidding phase 2, but we kind of run in, we're gonna take this under advisement because we're actually, Bridget, correct me, there's a couple of grants we're after, and the environmental is not done as of now, and we're kind of waiting for that, so we're gonna kind of take this under advisement. It'll probably be a couple of weeks before we come back and approve this.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
That we have to get the NEPA done
Yeah,
and the, US Department, the US, Department of Transportation has to review it. They have to, approve it and then, DNR can give us.
where we were kind of
letter
wanting to
saying
move this
we can-
along, it would be nice to have that second trail done, and we're hoping we can get it in to get that trail done before the end of the year. But as of right now, we're just waiting, it'll be a couple of weeks.
so we'll take this under advisement then?
Yes.
It may be a couple weeks.
All right, so we'll take this item under advisement and move along. And basically, that's our meeting. So, next meeting will be right here next week. And anybody have correspondence? Public comments? And departmental reports? Sheriff? Okay, Nick?
Jump for real quick.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
So with the winter, or the winter weather, the storm weather kind of tapered off, we hope. I wanted to give a little update on, I'm getting a lot of questions of, one, why do we sound the sirens every Monday at noon? And then two, if there's a tornado close by, why are we not setting off the sirens? So the reason we set them off every Monday at noon is to make sure that they work. We don't want to have a problem where we need them and they're not working. So if you're on a Monday at noon, if you don't hear the siren that you usually hear, let dispatch know. You can call 431-3131 and let them know, and they will let the appropriate people know so we can get them working. The second thing with why we don't set them off countywide, the system goes off of what they call a polygon system. It's rapid warning, and it's through dispatch, and when the National Weather Service puts out the tornado warning, they draw a polygon on the area that they feel like it's going to go through. The problem we're running into when we used to set the whole county off is if Blackwell, Missouri, up in the northern part of the county was in the polygon, we were setting them off in Farmington, and it was bright, blue, and sunny day. So we moved to this polygon system, and it's not, it's done by computer. So no one actually physically has to push a button or anything. It's in the polygon. The system will set out the warnings, and that's how they're done.
Does our button work?
Yes,
Yeah.
our buttons are working just fine.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, I noticed they had an issue up in St. Louis.
Theirs is, theirs is set off by humans. Ours is computer, they don't have to touch anything over there. It just goes off.
They're
Even the
actually
noon test is-
setting up like what we had.
I think there's only a few sirens in the county that aren't on that system, which I think eventually they will move to that new system, so.
Now, you mentioned there's one siren that's not sounding properly.
Yes, there's one at Double O, it's one of our newer sirens. It's not working properly right now. The company that's gonna maintain them is actually working in Bonne Terre, and they're gonna try to get over there this afternoon to figure out what's going on with it, so we can get it working again.
If you don't hear your normal loudness at noon on Monday, just please call.
Yeah, call
We
somebody.
don't know, we can't hear them all. All I hear went off in the distance. It's not as loud as it usually is. Just let them know where you're at, and they'll check all the ones in
So
here.
what sirens are those that are not under the?
The city of Leadwood, they've got a few sirens that they set off manually. Timberline, theirs is set off manually. Probably, I think Goose Creek's is also manual.
And then who's responsible for those?
So those would be on the individual, the cities or the townships. They're the ones that set off. I know Leadwood, the fire department does a lot of that. Same thing with Goose Creek and Timberline. But the problem is at 2 o'clock in the morning when they're asleep and they need to sound the siren. It's not they just flip over and push a button. They actually have to go to the siren itself, so it's delayed. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah,
for
sure.
that.
Be a really short report, just want to give some numbers. Our calls for service are at 421 for this last week. That brings us up yearly to 7,961. Our inmate population stands today at 122, so we're down a little bit. 97 of those are male with 25 females. And we just had some deputies return for some training that was cost-free. It was just meals and fuel. 3 went to its rural patrol response to street drugs. This is put on by the National Guard in Iowa at Camp Dodge. And then we had a deputy who is now certified as a OC instructor, which is pepper spray, which he can train other deputies as their certifications expire, and we don't have to send them out to train.
What is OC?
Okay, I knew you were gonna ask that. Oleo resin capsicum.
Yeah,
That's-
almost had it.
We've been
Yeah.
wondering about that.
So that's just
That's
pepper
right on the
spray.
tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
Can you
It's kinda
spell
hard-
that?
I've been wondering how that is.
Well, I
Andy.
put it down there, it's kinda hard to say.
Be great if it's Scrabble though.
I do wanna thank the community, for coming out, yesterday to the courthouse
Very nice.
and supporting the veterans and, also the veterans that have lost their lives on Memorial Day. We had approximately 300 people show up. I think it was a very good program and it was well received. So I want to thank the community for showing their support.
Well, I want to thank you too for emceeing that. You did
I'm
a
honored to do
great
it.
job.
Honored to
You
do
did
it.
a great job.
While you're here, I got a couple
Oop.
things that people have been asking about, and I wanted to address publicly. One, I keep hearing that we're not using Prop P money for public safety, and specifically the sheriff's department. One of the things we talked about buying the building, US Bank, and I watched the budget pretty close. To best of my knowledge, not one dime that had come from that fund has went any place but for public safety and specifically for the sheriff's department. Am I correct in that?
That's correct.
Well, I just want to tell you, so all you people that are calling and saying that the money doesn't go there, you're lying. And if somebody's told you that, they're lying. Thank you.
Jeff?
To the camera.
What's the pay difference now between deputies' pay now and 2 or 3 years ago? About.
I'd have to check with HR on that. I don't know the prior pay rate, what it was, and how far back we're wanting to go
But
on
it's
that.
significantly up.
Yes, and I think Prop P, that's where that money goes,
Right.
is pay for
And number
for
of
deputies, and
deputies.
increased our staffing as well. So it is going back to public safety.
Are you having any turnoff because of pay? Turnover?
Well, that's always in any organization.
Right.
Everybody wants more pay, and if we could pay them more, we would.
But are any of them leaving us to go to a better pay?
We've had a few that have completely gotten out of the business altogether.
Well, but they're not finding another law enforcement.
No, there's not a
job.
mass exodus because
Okay.
of the pay.
Okay.
No.
Well, and I will give Jeff credit. I know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we actually printed out a sheet on Prop P, and Jeff sat down with his top guys, and I think explained it to them, so he did his job. Just others, I think, disagree, so I think he did his job.
Yep. And the purchase of the new building has absolutely no financial connection to the payroll of the sheriff's department.
Even though it could have justified part of the building being used for that, we have not done that, and that's what I want to,
Yeah.
and I think that's what people assume, well, sheriff's gonna go that, so there must be use of that money for that.
No,
and
it has
that's not
nothing to do
the
with
case.
that, yeah.
No.
No.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Okay. By the way, any questions for Jeff?
Okay, I got one other thing, reports. The assessor's office will be sending out the assessments for the county sometime later this week or the first of next week. So you need to call our office, it says that on there, for the Board of Equalization. For you to have an appointment to be worthwhile, you have to be able to prove that the value of your house is not 90% of what the assessor's office is. That's the only thing that commission is designed to do. It's not, you're having tough times, so you don't have to pay or something. No, is the value correct? And I would remind the people, because several of the other people around the state are the same, and we haven't had to be, but I've heard from people saying, well, yeah, my house is worth it, but I'm just not gonna pay that much, and I'm gonna go, well, but I would like to remind the people that this commission has the ability to raise, if they come in, it's proved that their house should be worth $250,000 on there, and they've only got it $175,000, you all have the ability to raise that. So if you're gonna come in just to blow off steam, make sure that you don't set yourself up for
Yeah.
a problem.
We have one resident that says that his house has mold, so he shouldn't owe any taxes. So, we have those opinions out there too, so. Okay, any other, okay, Robert? Okay.
Randy?
Yeah, so I have a tentative schedule for the overlays. It's gonna be broke up in several months. We'll start next month, June 1. And we'll be doing Sugar Grove, London, Terrace Gardens, Groom, and Roll Oaks. And then the paving company has a big project for MoDOT, so July they'll be doing that. Then they'll come back in August and September and finish up, which gives us plenty of time to get the road prepped, widening done, culverts replaced. We're installing several culverts today for individuals, and we had one down on Rock Road that was failing, so they're fixing it today. I got patch crews out still. The mowers are still at it. The mowers, when they start, it takes them 6 weeks to get through and to get back to the beginning. So
You mean they
6
can't
weeks.
mow our 900 miles of lawn?
No, it takes them 6 weeks, start to finish, to make one cycle. So they're working their way through that. There's a lot of mowing. I mean, when you figure to go all the way to Dickinson Road, all the way down to Rock Creek Road, that's a long way.
900 miles.
Yeah. So we got some chipping crews out, just cleaning up some stuff that may have fell over the weekend, in those past storms. I know we had a little bit more down on Trap Rock Road. We got the majority of it cleaned up. One of those trees was pretty good size. I'd say probably 5 foot wide, the tree.
The base.
So it took them a while to get that one cut up and hauled off. And of course, then Dave and Carrie helped with that lot on Alexandra. We get that stuff cleaned up, and then I think you guys are gonna make some donation with that lot. Other than that, that's about it. That's about all.
Jason, you might also talk about fees or whatever.
Okay, so fees are, so, you know, prior to me getting here, we did a widening and overlay project there. And the ditch line, you know, with the contract was just seed and straw, which it's on a hill. Those homes have a lot of sump pumps, so that material wasn't really suited. So we've got with Jokers, the contractor that did it, and we're actually gonna rip wrap the entire length of that. I think it's like 3,400 feet. We're gonna put rip wrap in because grass, seed, and straw is never gonna hold, especially when we get significant rainfalls.
Well, they've got constant groundwater out there. It's kind of like the old Busey Road, constant groundwater.
And even for them to mow it after we got done would be difficult. So this way, we're gonna rock it, and the property owners abutting are just gonna keep the vegetation sprayed.
And I will say Jason's did a pretty good job out there dealing with the people. They've been pretty nice about it. We've come up with an issue that we know this will be the best fix for it.
Yeah, and the bridge, Berry Bridge, just so you know, so they have started the decking. Projected still end of this month to get done with the bridge. Now, the totality of the project will probably be September, you know, road, everything, but the bridge should be done at the end of June.
Thanks,
I
buddy.
understand that the sump pumps out on fees are running all the time.
Yeah, constant.
Talk about groundwater. Okay, any questions for Jason?
The last road, Rollo Road, how do you spell that?
Rock Creek Road?
No, is it?
The last road that you mentioned on overlay. This
Oh, Groom or Royal Oaks? Royal Oaks.
Oh, Royal Oaks, okay.
That's kind of, Dan, that all goes into a dead end one way. They all connect out there.
Yeah,
So,
Royal Oaks is just a cul-de-sac off of
Yeah.
London.
It sounds like a lot of roads, but it consists of what, a mile and a half, maybe.
Well, London's
If
a
that.
mile and a half.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other additional, that's not working. Okay, the next slide is additional departmental reports. Anybody have any? Okay, the slide after that would have been adjournment.
Well, I'll make a motion, we adjourn then.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.